What are the common Berachot mistakes? There are 5 grains: wheat, barley, spelt, oats, and rye. If you make a cookie, a cake, or a donut, out of any of those things, you'll make them zonot. There is something that's not one of those 5 things that you will also make them zonot on, and you probably know it's rice. Rice is not one of the 5 grains, but the rabbi said since it has satiating qualities, it's very nourishing, it's very filling like grains, you would make them zonot on that as well. And by the way, rice is 1/3 of the world population's principal satiating item. So it means they're not having bread, they're not having waffles, they're having rice as their main meal. That's 1/3 of the world. So that's mizonot. If you're Chabad, however, and you don't have that during a meal with hamotzi, that will be shahakol. Some people say I'm nuts, but nuts are for sure nuts. And all nuts are ha'etz except for peanuts. Peanuts are like a bean that come from a plant in the ground. They are not ha'etz, they are ha'adama. The way to remember that is because peas are ha'adama, so peanuts are ha'adama as well. Mushrooms, as much of a vegetable as they may sound, they are not vegetables, because although you might find them coming out of the ground, but they come out of people's heads too. They can grow on your ears. They can grow on rocks. They can grow on wood. They get their primary nutrition from air, oxygen. Therefore, they don't get their nutrition from soil. Therefore, they are shahakol. Bananas and strawberries may sound and taste like fruit, but too bad. They are ha'adama. Strawberries are very sweet, but they come from a plant in the ground. They're ha'adama. Bananas, although they might come from a tree, but the way we call it, the halacha qualifies a tree, is something that produces fruit yearly. Every year it's producing fruit, and it stands for a while. And that's why it's producing fruit yearly. That's, for example, olive trees. Remember we talked olives? Olives are ha'etz, although they're green, because olive trees can last for thousands of years. There are actually olive trees today that might be 1,000 years old, because a tree is something that bears fruit yearly. It's always bringing back new fruit yearly. A vegetable or a root from the ground or a plant from the ground are not producing fruit yearly. They're all falling apart and they're regrowing the following year. So bananas are coming from a tree. They come from a tree that does not produce fruit yearly. Therefore, they are going to be ha'adama.